Ladies and gentlemen, Tactical Advance here, and welcome to a news update. Big news this week is this Friday. The Evocati testers, I've probably said that wrong guys, are going to be testing this Friday. I've taken a look at the latest report, the schedule, and you can see the dates on there. Now if it slips until Monday, it's not the end of the world, or slips till next week. What does this mean to us? Obviously it means to us that we're going to get closer and closer to that point where we can actually start playing. The actual delivery date for 3.0 is a little bit way down the line. Keep in mind, once them first tests have been done, it will then go out onto the PTU, and they will start ramping that up from 100,000, 10,000, 50,000 like they've done with the previous patches. One thing you need to keep in mind though, the previous patches we've had, I'm going to say have been a lot smaller than this one, so I'm expecting there to be some challenges here because there's been a lot of changes to the networking, the way that it plays out, obviously the system being bigger, lots more ships in here as well. I imagine the timescales to slip a little bit, but we will get our hands on it soon. And if you're really lucky, you never know, you might be one of them people who have access to the Evocati and you will be giving it a try out before everyone else. Very lucky individuals you are. Alongside this as well, there've been lots of other updates as well. The servers have been upgraded, ready for 3.0, and clearly because of this testing, I should imagine the server structure is slightly different now. They're probably moving to something slightly bigger to deal with the bigger systems, clearly, where the other servers were quite a lot smaller. This is going to be on a slightly bigger scale. There's been a lot of work on the VFX as well. This includes the planet side footsteps, and also we've seen an introduction to trails as well that the ships leave. We've also found out that Levski will have hangars as well as docking ports for ships. So you're about to request a small vehicle and explore one of the planets or drive around Levski. That'd be pretty cool. You can land on the moons as well, and it has been said that you can go round a moon, but it'd take around about 15 hours. Jesus. Not sure if you're really going to be doing that. And also I'm not entirely sure what you're actually going to see other than just rock. All surface locations have had their final lighting pass as well. I must admit, things are starting to look very good on the planet side aspect of it. And although there has been a little bit of delay with this 3.0 thing, a little bit, obviously quite a bit, the majority of it is probably down to 3 or 4 large sort of blockers. This doesn't mean that the rest of the game and the rest of the developers stop developing on what they're doing. All we're going to see is a slightly better 3.0 than we would have seen X months ago and so on. Delamar has had its final polish. They're just currently working on an effects pass as well. This is around the atmosphere and the surface areas to add a bit more depth of field. The AI is coming along as well, and they're calling it the Buddy AI. All this means is the AI that work with you and interact with you. So an example of that could be you're on your ship, you've got 4 AI in a multi-crew ship, and you're about to give them crew particular orders or set them to particular stations. So you can still obviously play as a single player on a multi-crew ship. That's going to be a little bit more challenging when you move to the larger ships and you've got lots and lots of crew. Obviously having players there should be a better option, depending on your player's skill I suppose. We've had a new ship, the Nox Racer. This has an open canopy. It's like a motorbike really, I would say. We have seen one of these already. This is just another one, a space motorbike if you want to call it that. Now you can use this obviously on planet side as well for zipping around and getting around quickly. It does come with some guns, but I wouldn't be expecting to be doing massive damage. Or you could be using it for planet exploration. I suppose it would be pretty quick to get to point A to point B. And you could go and find what you're looking for and then race back and then fly over there with your ship. You could do that. I suppose, or ultimately you could just be very lazy, probably like me, and I'm just not going to get out of my ship and just fly around. We've had a demonstration as well on some of the technology that they've actually built for rapid concession called Solid. And basically what this does is this basically works out the geometry and all the technical information in the planet placement for creating the systems and so on. So the point is here for them to scale this up and create loads of them, hundreds. They should better do that in quite a quick time now with this tool, because it takes away a lot of the complication aspects of it. For the people that don't know, they're actually building Star Citizen to 1/10 scale, and this is for a clear reason. Building Star Citizen to the same scale as real space would make it probably a little bit boring for us, i.e. the gaps between locations would be so vast. It could take you 15-20 hours to get to your location, and that's probably a little bit too much. That's not saying that the journeys won't be a lot. One journey that they did to do one mission took around about 15 to 20 minutes. So high possibility you're still going to be in for a little bit of a journey in some cases. I suppose depending where you are in space. We're also going to be seeing some new tech come into play as well, and this will give Star Citizen the ability to use holographic information. So this could be for maps, the hailing system. They've said that when someone hails you from another ship, you would actually get their face as a hologram in front of you, and that's how you would actually communicate. In the same ways that I've no doubt that's also how you probably communicate with other ships inside of Squadron 42. Pretty cool. I like the idea of that. In some of the very early videos, we did see some of that holographic projection, and obviously that was out of engine. This technology also will be applied to some ships as well to project holographic information in front of you. It's slightly different when you're playing a game, when you're looking at a screen. If you've got a holographic projection, I think that in some ways that might actually work better in game, because then you get a 360-degree view of that information or what's talking to you. And I think if you've got a flat screen and you've got to literally look down to physically see it, then I think that that works in some instance, but I think the holographic aspect of it does add some pretty cool stuff, because you can imagine walking on a bridge with a massive holographic map, and you might also be able to see enemy positions and your own ship's positions. I think that would be a very, very cool use of that holographic technology. We've seen quite a lot of progression as well on the ship guns as well. Keeping in mind when Star Citizen first came out, all the ships had the right tiers, but they all had the same styled guns. Now Star Citizen have been really hard at work creating the actual physical designs for each of the weapons that belong on the ship types, and you can see that they're making some really good progress there as well. The Cutlass Black has made a lot of progress as well. They're currently working on the damage states, so that should be ready for 3.0 as well. So all you guys have gotten to them, you should be super excited about that as well. It's quite a big change in the ship, the way you enter and exit as well. I'm looking forward to giving it a go. And at some point in 3.0 we should be seeing the incremental patcher as well. I think we've all been waiting for that. Biggest challenge with Star Citizen every time a patch comes out, and I know we all know this, downloading the whole entire game. If it's going from patch point A to point B, then C, then D, you get the idea. You keep downloading these massive patches. Clearly that's not what Star Citizen want to be doing, because obviously they're paying for the bandwidth, and that just adds a massive infrastructure resource that they've got to use as well with the constant download. So the micro patcher give them the ability to make incremental updates to the client. So let's say, for instance, Star Citizen goes live and there's a bug, right? And the bug is something XY crashing. They could just send out a small, 3 or 4 gig patch to fix that, rather than us downloading 40 gig. We did have a few crashes in 2.6 when it went live. To help this, they've built a tool now to give them feedback on the crashes, so they can see from the clients, to give them a better understanding and be more reactive about the situation. I think that's a good job, well done. All of these things just add to the stability as well. So the big news here is clearly 3.0 is getting extremely close, i.e. days away for some people, very lucky people. And it could be hopefully a week away, 2 weeks, 3 weeks away for us mere mortals on the PTU. Fingers crossed, you never know. It could go that well, fingers crossed. So the last thing today, guys, if you're looking to join a Star Citizen organisation, check out the link in the description below. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe. Bye now.